So you're playing on your map with the old patch then, or what?
Yep. It's the only way. The map is fine until you get in viewing distance of the field, the map edge. And then it freezes up only when you're inside a vehicle, though. When you're just walking around, normal, not in anything.
People have that issue with 4X maps too.
And so, like, my water planes were fine. They had everything, but I imported the water plane from Cole's map that fixed his, and it's still causing the issue. What's weird is it seemed to work when it was first loaded, but once you save the game and reload it, it went back to the same old issue, so... I don't know.
Did you get the server back up, Dusty?
Yeah, it's up, sorry.
So if I want to play this map, I have to go back to the old patch. If I want to play with you guys, I have to install the new patch. It's...
Sucks to suck, homie.
Yeah, the Giants is so incompetent. They try to fix something that's broken, but in the process they break something that wasn't broken. Classic.
That kid's trying to be all buddy-buddy with me now.
What kid?
So you remember that post on that grain cart from Polly where that dude slapped Rafa's 8970 on there?
Yeah.
And I made that post, why would you even do this? Some kid posted a bunch of combines on a cart and said, see, they make them all in one. Not like that. Well, bitch, if you can find a fucking pivot point on a four-wheel drive that can take that, send that bitch to me because I am gonna patent.
Send it.
Well, Dusty, if you want to spray 11, I'll go to Brooks's and do the field mission 7 plowing.
I'm gonna go eat and I'll come back and do it.
Oh, okay.
Polygonish made that versatile grain cart thing.
That's where that came from.
That's, yeah.
I was like, the only world where those things actually exist are in modeling programs and video games.
Imagination.
Imagination land.
That's what a 1,000 bushel cart is. You're gonna tell me that pivot point and that length of that axle is gonna hold 50,000 pounds?
Well, a tri-bind does.
But I bet you that tri-bind set up a whole different way.
Right.
That pivot point's not the size of a four-wheel drive tractor. It's bigger.
It's huge.
Alright guys, I'll be back in a bit.
Alright.
I gotta kill 2 hours here till the new Gold Rush comes on.
Oh, you're gonna do a 2-hour stream? Holy shit. What the hell is wrong with you?
I doubt I did 2 hours. Maybe an hour and a half. Maybe an hour.
Holy shit, what the hell is wrong with you?
What the hell?
You're doing a 2-hour stream?
Doing a 24-hour live stream. I'm gonna die from a deep vein thrombosis.
I don't think I could have. I could maybe do a 12-hour stream, but I don't think any way in hell I'd be able to do.
I could never stay up. My eyes would go cross-eyed.
I've stayed up a couple times doing 24 hours, but I wasn't sitting at a computer screen.
I've sat at this computer and modded for 12 hours before, and I feel like shit, like the whole next day.
I did a 27-hour fertilizer train at work.
Yeah.
And yeah, the next day they're like, "Are you gonna come in at noon?" Oh, fuck you. Like we literally started it at like, what was it?
Is the chat on my live stream?
No, it wasn't yesterday.
So, how do I have to enable this, right?
I think so.
Enable.
Did you disable it because everybody was asking for mods on the map or what?
I never touched it.
Oh.
Is it working now? It should be, right?
I'm watching your shit stream. Flat map.
No such thing over here.
Where the fuck is our Wilson trailer? What the fudge? What the hell is the goddamn Wilson trailer at? Oh. See it around the corner of the barn? There she is. We gotta go recolor you to match the truck.
I don't know why the... Oh, looks like someone just commented. Maybe that works. Maybe it works.
Oh, Dylan's got a Peterbilt with more balls if you want it. It's on the server.
More balls. I'll have to go check it out. Does it go faster than 47 miles an hour?
Oh yeah. I'm doing like 70 with an empty trailer.
Good. Yeah, that's a real bummer. They like broke the 4X and 16X maps with the new patch.
Oh, I'm sure it's just... I'm sure it was because everybody bitched about not having the good maps in 17 on console because it was a 4X, so Giants had to figure out a way to keep people from building fucking 4X.
Well, they supported it in this current patch.
They must not have released a script or a fucking base 4X map yet.
I don't think Giants has ever done that. I think other random people do that.
The 4X stuff?
Yeah.
Probably.
I was wondering why this wasn't filling. You guys are on the server again tonight?
Yeah, I am the only one right now. Dusty went to go eat.
So Cole showed me a picture today that he got pretty much all the topography done on that map of his. The DEM.
He did that in one day.
Yeah, that's what he said. I think Osceola took me like a week or two.
Yeah, but Cole's a map guy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get him to build his map like you did Wind Chaser.
What do you mean?
Like, he basically builds the 1X. He wanted to build the standard, and like, well, just put it in the 4X, do your topography, build your standard, and then once you start playing it, you can just do other parts of it. Like, when we started on that one corner of Wind Chaser, and then we started building farms onto it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way you gotta do it, otherwise you get burnt out. I mean, you can't keep building and not play.
Well, and how many times did we go in and adjust stuff on Wind Chaser because we're like, well, this would be cool to have.
Right. It's a fluid process. But it's a little bit different when you're building off of a real life area.
Yeah.
So it goes a lot faster, and you're so much more efficient because you're literally just copying everything. You don't have
Yeah,
to design it and
the only thing is you'd have to design some extra sell points in there, but that's about it.
yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the only downside of building a map off of a real area is sometimes you can't take advantage of all the features in the game.
Yeah, like 5 different sell points.
Or like, I don't really have a lumberyard, so we gotta kind of make that up somewhere.
Well, like for the hay operation though, for like selling hay, I mean,
You
you
can just
could
sell
put
it
it
at
in.
horse.
Well, yeah, you could do a horse farmer. I was even thinking like a guy that just in the like Dylan wants a hay
Mushroom
hay
barn.
farm. No, just a hay farm. But
Yeah.
like have the sell trigger like buy the hay barn and just call it like a hay broker. Basically, you sell your hay to him and then he'll sell it for you.
Right. Or you just call it like a mushroom barn.
Yep. Like one lonely farmer sells to.
But they want moldy hay.
Yeah,
But
that's
it's
what I
the
was thinking.
same.
Like, yeah, essentially, yeah.
The bale points I have on this map on Osceola are like horse hobby farms. There isn't really like one place you can. There's a couple places you can sell your hay and straw.
You could
silage.
almost make it too, though. That like, if say there's not, you could put in a farm with like a horse stable or whatever, and just call it like something horse stable.
Right. But that was the issue with this map is there was no actual grain sell point, so kind of had to make something up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna have to do the same thing.
And this
At least
map
for-
only has one grain sell point in the whole map, so
Yeah, if you want the full function of the game, though, you almost have to have 2, though, or a couple, like 3.
you mean for like the economy to?
Yep.
Right.
Like yours would be easier once you get to like a 16x just to throw an elevator in a portion in a part of the map, because yours is big. I mean, you can just make it as like a new elevator went up or something like that.
Yeah, I'd probably put them right next to each other. You know, like this is one company, the co-op, and then this is a second, like maybe on the train.
And then maybe like on the other side of the map or something, or in a different spot of the map, you could make basically like a feed mill or something where you can take your grain there as like you're bringing in your corn, so you can make your feed for your cattle or your pigs and all that.
Yeah, like some large operation. Well, I knew it was too good to be true.
What?
Getting this map converted and playable, and
Oh.
then the next patch it's dead. You know.
So what's Daddy got to do to get that goddamn Mac from you?
What Mac?
The
Oh,
Smizer.
I thought you said you had it.
I do, but you never said it was okay for Dylan to do the stainless textures on it.
Oh.
Dylan could get that bitch looking mint in this game.
Yeah, I'll probably send it over this weekend.
I think this would be the epic one for that end up, because like like the aluminum would look so nice in this
Right.
game, or like even stainless, like the booms on the Hardy sprayer. Oof.
Yeah, I have no motivation to do it. If he wants to do it, yeah, no problem.
Fuck, he's got motivation to do it. He's like, I want to ask, but I don't want to be that guy. And I'm like, I'll fucking be that guy.
But I think it's going to be a lot of work to redo it because you have to redo the UV mapping, right?
Yeah, but it wouldn't be hard. Dusty knows how to separate everything, and Dylan can put everything back with the origins so that it'd be all new UDIM texture.
Yeah.
Because they're talking about taking the quad track out, separating everything, making it American, and then putting UDIM textures on it.
I mean, I did a YouTube video a couple years ago on how to separate shit and keep the textures. So.
Well, I think no, the bad thing, or the worst part about it is like setting the origin on moving part.
Well, that's actually pretty simple to do. You can make it invisible and just select a couple of vertices and then have your move the origin to cursor or to selected.
Really?
Yeah, it's literally super easy.
When everybody else is in and you're in sometime, you should bring that up, because that's literally in our group chat on Facebook Messenger what we were talking about.
Yeah, I could take a couple screenshots and show guys how to do it.
Because Dylan, we want to rip apart the 2100 and do it all with UDIM texture, so like it matches the Deeres in this game. But the biggest part was Dusty was having issues with like putting the origins back in.
I have the Blender file.
Because if we can figure out an easier way to do the origins, we could pull the Fent 1050 out, paint it cat yellow, put everything back together, and have our own 1050.
1050.
Have you ever the Challenger 1000 series? Have you seen
Oh,
those?
the Fent. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the big talk of what we wanted for like a 500 horsepower, a decent 500 horsepower tractor.
Yeah, it's actually pretty simple to get the origin selected.
And then keep it.
What do you mean keep it?
Like if you go in and separate everything, won't it screw the origins up?
Yep.
But so to keep the same origin, or can you not do that? Or is that what the whole scroll wheel is for on the mouse?
When you import it, you lose your origin when the geometry is re-imported.
Yep.
So basically, if you had something set, you know, everything in Blender needs to be facing forward when you set origins, like when you separate a mod when you're finally done with it and export it. Because Giants, for whatever reason, it likes when things are flat facing forward. That way everything animates properly, like cylinders and shit.
Yep.
But in order to do that, you need to have origin selected, like a pivot point, right, on an object, which is usually at the end or something. And so in order to do that and make sure it's perfectly centered, is you can go into a wired view, select like 4 vertices or vertices that surround the end of that point, and then you can have the program set center of mass or center of origin to the cursor selection, so it's perfect every time.
So basically, like your cylinder arms, you can just go and select a couple of vertices on the end of the cylinder.
Yeah, for like cylinder arms, I select the vertices at the very end of the cylinder, like that make the circle.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, you know, make selection center of origin. So that way my center of origin is at the very end and it's in the center.
Because I know Dusty's been talking about like taking the Magnum out of game and putting the correct like American weights on the front of it. But to do that, you have to basically tear the whole thing apart and then put it back into one piece.
Yeah.
So, and like the UDIM, yeah, you gotta create everything and rip it apart just to make it. Because Dylan's talking about doing the 2100 to UDIM texture, so it matches the thing. Which is nice with this whole wear thing, like your 2730, if you took the time, like you could make your blades on the front have like that little bit of metal wear, and then like the bottom of the shanks could be silver chrome like wear. I mean, this game's got quite a bit of things you could change up to make things more realistic and more for like wear.
Right. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's worth it to do it. I mean, it's going to take a shit ton of work, and I'm definitely not going to do it, but if someone else wants to, it's fine.
No, you got a 16x map to work on.
I just don't see the value. Yeah, it'd be nice, but oh my god, you're looking at like 40 hours of work. Maybe not 40,
So,
but at least 20 for sure.
Hmm.
Because you gotta import everything, then you gotta change the UV mapping, but then your UV seams don't, your manual seams generally don't convert over. You can do seams by, select seams by island off the UV map, but that's not perfect.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to redo your origins, apply all your textures, re-import into GE again. It's like, whatever. I'm exhausted already thinking about it.
Of course, Giants isn't gonna make it easy to do it either.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe the GE version that Giants has, not the dumbed down one we get.
yeah, and that's another thing. The current GE is so glitchy, like with moving transform groups and the scenograph. It's like,
I can't understand why, like, if they want mods to be down on console and all that, why don't you release the non-dumbed down version of Giants Editor like they use?
there's a lot of questions. A lot of whys, like why this, why that.
Oh yeah.
But they did release the scripts, so hopefully we'll get some, some progress on some mods like GPS and stuff over the next couple of weeks. Although I'm getting pretty used to using these reach markers here.
Well, not even just like GPS, but now like for your sprayer now you can actually get it to unload chemical into totes again. Because now you have the script for that.
I still don't know how to get my sprayer booms to work the way they did in 17. It only recognizes the first mouse control.
Oh. I
And
don't know.
like I have the same mouse control that moves 3 different nodes. So it's like, fuck. You just can't win.
Have you tried looking at the Hardy?
Well, the thing is, like, I could script it like the Hardy that goes, so it goes up and down properly, but I also have the function where the booms go up, like when you get the end of a row. Theirs doesn't. I don't want it to, like, dig into the ground.
Yeah, no, you want it to be realistic. I know what you have on yours. I've used yours.
So that would still be an issue. Like, you couldn't script that because you're moving two nodes with the same mouse control, and it's like, I'm thinking not.
You'd almost have to set it up so you move one boot, like say your left boom is off like one node for one mouse control, and then your right boom would have to be off a different one. So like you could move each individual separate.
Yeah, but
because wasn't your Patriot that way?
Yeah, it was. And then I put it so you move both the same direction with the same control because it's a little bit more efficient. If they were separate, yeah, you could do it that way. But almost to the middle of the field. Probably 3-4 more passes.
I wonder if there's a way to go in and adjust the mass on like the stuff that loads into that seed tender so you can actually load like a full load and it doesn't just sink the fucking pickup.
Yeah, it handles seed like nobody's business.
So it's got to be something with the lime that the density sets so
The
damn
density
high.
on the lime is way too high. I mean, lime is not a very dense
Yeah, it is.
compared to
Lime-
seed.
Well, lime's probably our density on lime is just as high as potash. Like when we density our lime when we're spreading, like we have density cups to figure out the density, it's in the 60s. Urea is like a 43.
What's that unit of measurement? Like pound per
Pounds, yeah. Square inch, I think.
per square inch.
I can't remember. I don't know. I'd have to look at a sheet, which I can't look at application logs anymore because I don't do that, but I'm pretty sure it's pounds per square inch.
But you'd think like a bag of seed and a bag of lime would weigh roughly the same.
They do, yeah. Should. A bag of beans is 60 pounds per bushel.
So that's why I'm saying like a half a seed tender load of lime shouldn't weigh more than a full load of seed. They should be pretty damn close. Like if half a load of lime is making that thing squat that much, a full load of seeds definitely.
Pounds per square foot. Yeah, it's LBFT3, so pounds per square foot.
Wouldn't you want a cubic foot?
Well, what's FT3? Is that cubic foot?
Yeah, to the third is a cubic foot.
Yeah, so it's pounds per cubic foot.
Yeah, because you want a volume, a mass per volume.
Yep.
And that would give you a density.
All I know is we had a little red fucking density cup that you filled the bitch up and fucking moved it till the bubble was in the line.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, doesn't have lime, but like, so your urea is 48 to 52 pounds per cubic foot. Your coarse potash would be 66 to 70, and lime's right around the same as potash, if not a little bit higher.
I have 3.6 hours on this tractor. I'm not quite halfway on the repair.
We have 22.7 on our 8R.
Damn.
I use this bitch a lot.
Too bad there's no 9Rs.
Somebody was working on some, weren't they? But they're the older series 9Rs.
Yeah, can you imagine converting the thing over to the new textures? Those things have like 30 texture maps.
Well, even like the 9RX from 17's got a shit ton of fucking texture maps on it because
Yeah.
it's got the texture maps for the new fenders, the steel tanks, the old fenders. Jesus Christ. Then you got a special one for the RX fenders, and you'd almost have to create a separate mod.
So what happens to a planter when it gets worn down?
Well, I don't know. We've never worn a planter down. It just slows it down in this game. I'm sure in real life, you're like seed openers and all that stuff wear out.
Does it use more seed and stuff, or does it just go slower?
Your seed placement's not the greatest.
Anyways, I put a couple threads on the Giants forums. They're usually not very useful, but
About your map or what?
gotta shoot your shot. Yeah. Once you get to when the field at the map edge comes into view, when you're inside a vehicle, it freezes. But like once you get far enough away from the map edge where you can no longer see it, then it acts fine. It's really strange. And there's no errors in the log either. That would explain why it's glitching out.
Yeah, that's one thing with the log this year that they haven't fixed very well is telling you the fucking errors.
Right. The Giants editor log is hidden all the way into like user data local apps. Like you can't find it unless you like put in a specific line to find it in the documents. It's like they don't even want you to find it.
Good old Giant, fucking everything. Wouldn't be Farm Sim without it.
It really is impressive how they can break things that aren't broken while trying to fix broken things.
Yeah.
And they're literally just like, screw it, release it, make a new bug thread.
Yep.
Once
Yeah,
that thing gets about 10 pages long, then we'll do another patch. Rinse, repeat.
I gotta admit, they're at least doing decent on patches, but then also could be said is how many patches do you need on a game? But once again, like when Call of Duty comes out or like Forza comes out, it doesn't come out every 2 years, so they're developing the game for a while.
Yeah.
Like, I would not be opposed to Giants saying, hey, we're gonna come out with a game every 4 years and then, like, just do a big DLC, like, halfway through it or something. Like,
Yeah.
2 years. Do, like, a big patch update that can fix stuff, because obviously they added the terrain editing, so you can't tell me that they could add something else as a patch 2 years into it.
Yeah, no shit. But they don't get paid to do that. They don't make any money doing that.
You could sell it as a DLC patch.
It's true.
I mean, I'd pay $20 for, like, not just for the terrain editing, but
Or if they
so
came
you
out
put-
with a Seasons DLC, like, okay,
like,
sold.
seasons or terrain editing or some new equipment. I mean, Throw us a bone, Giant.
But that makes too much sense, so
True.
it's not gonna happen.
Well, I mean, it's like how, and that's another thing. Like, there's a lot of good American modders, but like, so the European guys can get paid to post on Mod Hub, but the American guys don't get any money from the downloads on the Mod Hub.
Yeah, so what's the incentive? There is none. Screw you. That's a mistake.
Well, it's like when Rafa was trying to get that, set up that donating group for that new video card, and nobody could send money because he was overseas and PayPal wouldn't do it.
Really?
Yeah. PayPal fucking frauded was it PayPal or Patron? I can't remember. I think they did it on Patron first.
What about GoFundMe?
Oh, I think they did a GoFundMe and they fucking locked it up because it was like a bunch of Americans sending money overseas. They thought it was like a fucking scam.
A Nigerian prince.
Yep.
Really? I didn't know that. I saw
Yeah,
him post a picture of all the stuff, so must
They
have
just
figured
said
it
I had
out.
to get $500 and I could be a Nigerian prince. I was like, hell yeah. I want a new Corvette for $500. Corvette never came.
Damn.
I don't know, the whole mod begging thing so far this year is just ridiculous.
Yep.
Like, people have no patience to wait it. Hey, picture, I want.
Yep. Oh shit, I'm out of seed.
I'm running a 2100 Ripper on field 7.
Ripping the shit out of it.
Well, at least you can pull this Ripper with the 8400.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the size of tractor that you kind of want to be. I mean, it's a like
For
a
a 9
minimal. It's not like it's a massive 13 shank, right? And you're not going through.
No, you're not going as deep with it. I mean, it'd be a struggle for an 8400 on a 9. Depends on if it's an inline. It is an inline Ripper, so yeah, I mean, it'd struggle the tractor a little bit.
Because when that was being built, you'd see 8360 RTs pulling that thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's also half the size of that John Deere disc ripper,
Yeah.
like frame-wise. Hell, I'd even take a 7 shank, 2730. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, 7.9 shank.
Oh, damn it. Fent 1000 Vario US beta coming soon. Hopefully that bitch is yellow.
But you said Fent, right?
It's honestly, actually, that Challenger 1000 is a Fent painted yellow.
I thought they made some slight changes to the interior though. Like it's not as nice as the Fent. It's very close.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same as a Fent.
Yeah.
Because literally our new Rogator that we tried out demoed this year had the same, like, basically the same interior as a Fent tractor. monitor and everything.
Really? They're changing the rogators too?
Mm-hmm. Everything is going to the Fendt monitor.
Yeah.
The new rogators are shit.
Why?
We demoed it for 2 months and turned it away. We had problem after problem with it.
How can someone make a new piece of equipment that shit?
And we weren't the only co-op that had issues with it. Like, the Fendt monitor wasn't talking to the section control, and yeah, it was horrible.
So it was a software issue?
Software, there's a lot of issues with that thing they had this year.
That's why I think John Deere is kind of worth the money, is because the software is, I think it's superior. It's more satellites, better, you know, precision planting. It all talks to each other.
I wish I could talk you into building a model, but I know that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm so not in the modeling mood right now.
The new John Deere 4-wheel Terragator with booms. Oof.
Have
It's a
Raphael do it.
It's a prototype. We had one for a whole 3 days before they rolled it. Let's just say there was 3 of them in South Dakota and we rolled one of them.
I'm not even surprised.
Well, they were out when they shouldn't have been trying to spread fertilizer.
Yeah.
And so it was raining and the highway like froze like it was a solid sheet of ice. Kid turned the corner, went to take off, and shoot sideways into the ditch. 3 days, 40 hours on the machine.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
The first people that showed up to it were board members because they had a board meeting.
At your co-op or from?
Co-op. We have a board of directors, like a bunch of farmers.
Yeah.
I wasn't there for the rollover. I don't work in that location anymore.
Can't blame me.
I've fucked up enough shit in my life, but never rolled one.
You know, I'm kind of glad they got the seed tendering because these things were such a bitch and a half to script properly in 17. They never did work right.
No.
Too bad they didn't have an auger conveyor
What do you mean?
thing. Like to load silos, your grain bins.
Oh, yeah.
So this thing's full of seed and it's barely even squatting.
It's definitely a density in the line.
Yeah, it's either the seed's really light or the lime is way heavier than it should be. I mean, you can make it probably like, what, 20% heavier than the seed?
Oh, yeah, maybe not even that.
And that should be good enough, but it's literally probably 4 or 5 times heavier and it's really not.
I mean, the density is not really going to make a difference because, I mean, the bags, 2,000 pounds is going to be 2,000 pounds either way. There actually might be less fertilizer in 2,000 pounds than bean.
People keep yelling at me for putting lime in this, but
It's a fucking conveyor belt. Who the fuck cares?
I think it is a conveyor in this one, so
It is. It's a belt.
It should be able to handle it, no problem. It's not like it's an auger. That would be a different story, right?
Hmm.
Auger
We
up
run
some
lime.
flour.
We run. Well, yeah, that type of lime you probably wouldn't want to put in an auger. We run pelletized lime, so like our lime's made into little pellets that's like the same size as like fertilizer pellet.
Yeah. I'm just really disappointed that that new patch crashes this map.
Yeah, just trash it. You don't need it.
Hey, be nice. I'm getting him talked into possibly sending you the Mac.
Fucking better.
Finish up that tillage equipment, and I'll send you a new project.
I thought you fixed the fucking tillage equipment.
I told you to send it to me. With the new wheels.
DJ didn't send me them wheels. I just stole the ones off the V-Ripper and put them on there because they were better than what was
Off the what,
DJ's
Ripper?
fucking off of random read shiny tires boys Ripper. V-Ripper.
You know the kid that fell asleep when we were logging on Windchaser?
Oh yeah. And he stole the 2730 shanks to put on it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So basically you just gotta upload the 2730 now and send it to him, Dylan?
Yeah, that's a bit of. I thought you
So-
said you didn't know. So I just whatever.
So me and Joe were talking about setting origins earlier. I was wondering if you set it the same way he does.
There's really only one way to set it. I mean,
You
there's
s-
multiple ways.
He selects like 4 vertices and then makes them invisible in mouse.
Yeah, I go to wire view. I select vertices, and then I do make center of origin to selector.
Yeah.
So there's a US version of the Fent coming soon.
But then when you redo your origins, you have to make everything flat and facing forward.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, it's a time-consuming process.
Alright, I'm gonna update this to put this 2730 on the server. I'll upload it, but actually it's a big long.
Well, when it's uploaded, let me know, because I can back out because it's a simple... I'm just doing a plowing mission right now, so... How's your hand feel?
Fucking terrible. I mean, it ain't bad actually, but I mean, I can't fucking use my fingers.
How many aspirin have you used?
No. It doesn't hurt really bad right now, really. As long as I don't fucking touch anything, it's just fucking throbbing. Fucking
So I
annoying.
wonder if that Fent Vario 1000 they're gonna do, I wonder if they're gonna have a yellow option for that.
Who's making it?
Rafa just posted it's in Patreon unless you're not a high enough ranker yet.
For download?
Beta coming soon. With that, remember that picture Dusty sent of those wheels?
That guy's a work modaholic.
He's just got to finish them. That's the problem.
Yeah, he's not a finisher.
He fucking messaged me today. He's like, so Joe say no to sending models? And I was like, no. He said no because you need to finish your shit. And he said, fuck him, I'll go make my own. Whatever, I guess you're gonna finish them. Whatever.
Well, that's like, he was talking about the STS for how long that it's coming to 19. Then he gave that up. Now he's on the 9RT.
I'm trying to help the guy. I'm not being mean. I would
And
just
now-
be counterproductive towards his efforts.
And then we go to the 9RT. Now we're on a Fent Vario.
He's like a racehorse that you need to put the blinders on.
He's literally fucking racing with the blinders That's it.
He doesn't like in-game, and that's his problem. So I think he has Nicholas do all his in-game. So that's why. Well, either Nicholas or Kevin or
Stefan does a lot of this stuff.
I'm sure.
I think Stefan did the majority of the work on the 1000.
Right. Well, and Kevin, I'm sure, helps him script. Yeah, Rafa hates in-game. He'll model anything for you, but will not in-game.
Yeah, he likes Maya and textures.
So when he started talking about making implements, I was like, alright, just go make me a 50-foot fucking John Deere field cultivator. Thanks. He's like, send me spec. If only it worked that easy. I mean, fuck, you know how fast he could build a fucking tillage tool, to be honest? As fast as he works on some of this other shit, he would knock one of them fucking things out in a heartbeat.
But in-gaming that son of a bitch would be a bitch and a half.
Oh, yeah, it'd be a fucking
Because then you gotta separate everything, origins, you know, modeling is one thing, but then you gotta do the UV mapping, manual seams. Building it is not that hard.
The SFI is sulfur.
Yeah, that looks nice.
Just do what everybody else does. Fucking convert Joe's coon.
The thing was... Yeah.
Thing's definitely not outdated whatsoever.
I built that before I knew there was a measurement tool in Blender.
Well, remember Julian's 2100 was bigger, and then you're like, oh fuck yeah, they've got a scale in here. We're making it smaller.
You should have seen it when he first sent it to me. It was 20 times too big. Because he used, what is it, 3ds Max?
Yeah, I think he used Max and Rafa used Maya.
Yeah. Turns out Maya was the smart one. Because Giants doesn't even support anything with 3ds Max.
No, I don't think they do. They used to, but they don't no more.
And I'm sure Blender's days are numbered.
Most Blender could find a plug-in, but yeah.
Well, you can't do any of the fancy hose animations in Blender. I kind of want to forget how to model in Blender, so I'm forced to relearn in Maya.
Come to South Dakota, I'll hit you in the head with a frying pan. We'll see if that works. If not, I'll find a bigger object.
Cast iron skillet.
Actually, just stand in front of your Corvette and give me the keys.
I need you to run really fucking fast. Put your head down and just run into a wall, please. Great execution.
Watch, Joe comes out just like a super Maya modeler.
I hit my head, I got high-level Ashburgers, and now I can model in Maya like nobody's business.
Bang, 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 bang! Just all kinds of shit coming out.
Probably should have waited.
You get an implement, you get an implement.
Could have come help me.
Fucking Ripper's still up there.
Yeah, I'm on 2100 right now on field 7.
Well, isn't that nice?
It's on that 33 on
Jake
wind
loves
chaser.
that little Ripper. He used the shit out of that thing.
Fuck, I love it too.
Dylan's
Jake's
talking
like,
about
let's
doing.
upgrade to a 2730, and I'm like, fuck no. We're gonna keep that 20.
Dylan's
I like
over
the
here.
2730.
Dylan's over here going, we're making this bitch UDIM textures.
I mean, if that was a model, I mean, it's pretty basic, so that's probably the one you'd want to start.
Oh yeah, you definitely
Nothing
do
to
that
it.
over the 20. The 2730 is not even worth trying.
That's stuck. That's always gonna.
It'd be a little bit easier if he only had one of the shanks and then just copied them all.
No, it's not even that. I mean, there's so many fucking cylinders, moving
Oh, I know.
parts, all kinds of
Well,
shit.
I have the Blender files saved ready for export where it's everything separated and origins are all flat and facing forward, but I don't know.
Like, I
don't
think it'd
it's
just be
worth it.
cool, like, on the bottom of the shanks to make them, like, chrome, or, like, the metal, like, the paint's wore off, the disc blades have a little bit of... You could actually make the disc blade show up silver on the outside of them now.
Definitely a lot nicer to, I mean, if you're doing something new, anything from here on made will just top anything from 17. The capabilities of this fucking new system is out of this.
So is it similar to how Truck Sim does their textures?
I don't know enough.
You
about
have
how
a
Truck
basic
Sim
little
does that.
square texture and then you wrap your UV map around it.
I have no idea. Be right back.
Yep.
I'm happy with this 8RT. We've waited how many years to get a good-looking 8RT?
Yes, and the one that Rafa did, you could get the 3-meter spaced out tracks now.
Yeah.
The fat tracks. I kind of want to get one in the save game now that I think my wheel is what was causing my tractor to fucking drive like shit.
Alright.
Oh, you have a steering wheel now?
Oh yeah, for ATS I did. And it was plugged in because every once in a while, like, my tractor would like catch and it'd just make a hard like left or right.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking it was my wheel causing.
Yeah, mine was fucking with my mouse.
Yield Pro. I wonder what Giants was thinking in 17 when they had that shitty old Great Plains planter. When was the last time that thing was built?
Oh, they're built around you. Like a lot of guys that have those are like guys that plant like food plots or like construction sites that just plant grass in the ditch.
Or what was Great Plains thinking? Like, yeah, you can use us, no problem, but you can only make this little thing. It was funny. No new vehicles yet from Great Plains.
No, at least I got rid of the little planter though.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Your little threefold Great Plains would be nice.
Is Great Plains in Europe?
I don't know.
Kansas, baby. I think. I don't know. Pretty sure though. Has anybody else noticed on their Facebook timeline a bunch of like McDonald's pages and like pages like that that are like replying to their comments and shit? Because I've seen like 4 or 5 like fucking Wells Fargo, McDonald's just now, and it's like they're obviously here to show that they're replying to their fucking comments for some reason.
Kubota bought who out?
Great Plains.
Did they?
I'm really surprised we don't have Kubota in this game.
A little fucking Kubota tractor.
Well,
There's
that's
no
not
mode.
really a major player in agriculture because their biggest tractor is kind of like a small utility, isn't it?
No,
They make a
they-
175 horse tractor now. I mean, yeah, it's still small compared to some, but shit, pretty big.
Mahindra.
I mean, a Kubota is something that you would have at your school district to pull a mower.
A lot of guys like them because they're so behind on technology.
Yeah, it's simple.
Same like Steiger. Well, versatile.
It's the versatile of utility tractors.
Yep.
Whoa! Whoa! My corn's growing! I'm not done planting!
Turn plant growth off, dingaling.
Fuck.
Fuck that one up.
SOS seasons.
I'm so used to seasons. Do I want to turn it off? Yeah.
Yeah, you want to turn it off because by the time you finish planting that corn, your first part that you plant, it'll be like a stage or two ahead. Fucking corn growth in this game is stupid.
Wow, that was fast. That was like an hour.
Remember all the happy times we had.
Well, this is gonna get awkward. It's like, what the hell is that shit doing in my field? Do I have like a fruit density glitch?
No, it's the corn. We planted corn on 1, 2, and 3, and the fucking outside rows grew a stage before the fucking inside did.
Yeah.
Or no, that's beans.
Remember all the happy times we had.
So Cole says he has the animations figured out.
For the doors, yeah.
Yep.
Random's got the fucking owlet done, so that fucking broke my belt.
The what?
The Owlick Illuminator belt trailer.
Oh.
If you want a belt trailer to haul lime, we have one now.
I was gonna say, I need something to haul line.
We have a belt trailer that you can haul it to the field. And I don't know if you can dump it in a field yet.
Why wouldn't I?
Should be able to dump here, can't you?
I don't think there's anything wrong with the tip collision.
Did they add tip anywhere though?
Oh, is that not a feature? Like tip here?
I don't know if it is or not.
Fuck, you can dump anywhere.
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
you
it
can?
is.
Yeah, that's been a thing since last game.
Yeah.
So,
But they
Where the
take a
fuck
lot
you
of
been?
shit out.
I don't fucking know then.
What year is it?
Look, half the time I still think I'm playing FS09.
You played FS09?
I
No, since 11.
You got me
did. Played the
beat.
shit out of 09.
So D-Long's been playing this game the longest.
Yep.
Yep.
Me and
Just
Dylan
now, like, really modding.
Me and Dylan went back one night and looked at our fucking AEM account.
I had to look at that the other, like a year or two ago, and I made my account there in April 2013.
I gotta. Oh no, I wanna fucking look to see when I did make that account. Is that 2730 uploaded yet?
I don't know what the fuck it's doing. It's taking forever, though.
April 2013, and from that day I was trying to put tracks on everything. Tracks on tracks on tracks. Case
Same here.
Magnum, no problem. Put tracks on.
What the fuck? FX2X mod map with map foliages. What the hell is that?
A 2X?
Yeah.
Interesting. Not possible, but interesting nonetheless.
Where does it show you when you created in the info panel?
What?
Where does it show when you created it?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. I haven't been on there in probably a
User
year.
menu and go to profile.
I was gonna say it's gotta be under profile somewhere.
April 29th of 2012.
Wow, you got me
October
beat by a year.
October 18th, 2012.
You both got me beat.
Senior member.
You know, that website was pretty okay, but then it just really went downhill.
That was like the middle of 15. 13, it was a pretty good website.
They start uploading shit without it correct credits, and they're like, oh, who cares? Everyone knows.
I created my profile on FSUK, November 20th of 2010. Here I am, 8 years later.
Good God.
I'm on 6.
You're gonna
Over
have a
6.
reunion.
Oh shit,
10-year reunion coming up, boys.
we out here.
You might get to meet Tess in person.
You
Fuck,
might
you didn't
not
start
remember.
playing this game till fucking 13 or some shit.
Knock him square in the cocksucker. Maybe we go find Albert Elf, Joe.
Fucking log baler.
That guy gave the worst advice. Some interesting characters over the years, that's for sure.
I'm the oldest motherfucker in here. My farm sim wise. Dusty beats us all by about 50 years though.
Only 50?
Yeah, fuck that make him 70. Hate to be that fucking mean to him. Damn.
Looking good.
Looking good for 70.
Looking damn good. Should be interesting to see what kind of DLCs come out over the next couple years with this game.
Exactly, that's what I'm really... I mean, everybody's like, oh, they have to make a big John Deere DLC. No, they fucking don't. John Deere has the most equipment of any other brand in this game. If there's going to be anything DLC in this game, it isn't going to be John Deere.
John Deere's got more equipment than everybody else.
Look at it, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they made a
Case
John
has
Deere.
about Case
Two
has about this.
combine, what, 3 headers, what, 4 tractors? Is it 4
Okay,
tractors? or 3
Case has like 4 or 5 tractors, 1 combine,
Yeah,
2
Case
headers.
might be close.
What I don't understand is why they only brought 1 case combine over. They didn't
Bring the smaller
the
series.
7130 over.
That's the one thing I don't understand is they never really got a mid-size American combine.
Yeah. They always make this big ass shit for these small ass European maps. So you can't, and then there's nothing in between. You either have the super small or.
Oh,
super
there's the
huge.
Massey, which you could have like a 30-foot header. Or you gotta use the European John Deere combine with the 30-foot heads. Or no, that's only a 25. I'm at a stopping point if it's up.
You know, I thought it was time for John Deere to get in this game, but I'm actually shocked that it happened.
Yeah, me too.
Like, they were due to be in this game, but I'm still can't really.
I think they just looked and seen like, okay, let's outweigh this now. Us coming out with a new game where they finally seen what the popularity of Farming Simulator
Yeah, I
actually is.
think the number of copies that sold for 17 and how it like was outselling Call of Duty.
And I'm sure all these little kids are fucking messaging John Deere, hey, you need mods. You should come to this game. You should come to this game. I still, when that kid said, or when KMN said John Deere doesn't get any money out of this, I don't know. That can't be right.
They get, I'm sure they get a significant percentage of all game sales. This is not a company that pays to be in a game. They get paid to use their name.
Yeah, if anybody's gonna pay to be in game, it'd probably be Kubota.
Yeah.
Or that, whatever that little green tractor is. The Herthaman or whatever.
Yeah, this is not some free advertising for John Deere. This is, you're paying us money because John Deere in your game is going to sell you a lot more games.
Little kid plays Farming Simulator. Dad, we need John Deere tractor.
crazy talk to think that John Deere isn't making a ton of money from this. This 24-row planter doesn't look very big in these fields.
No. Most 24-row planters don't look very big in a quarter anyway.
I would take two 24s over a single 48.
Oh yeah.
Although the 48 was pretty fun at the time.
Especially on clover when you wanted to plant the whole field of corn so you could chop silage. You just made the DB120 do 20 mile an hour.
Hold on to your nipples.
Dylan got pretty quiet. Did you send him a Mac?
Nope. Too busy planning. Well, almost an hour and 18 minutes. I was looking at playing that Gold Rush game, but it looks like it needs a lot more.
It's actually pretty fun
Equipment.
though.
Yeah,
They actually have added a lot of equipment since the beginning.
not a bad start.
No, me and Random played it quite a bit actually.
probably call it a day when I get to the end of this pass.
Pussy.
Need to get some water. Don't know, probably got another hour worth of planning, 40 minutes or so.
What are you afraid of?
I'm lost in old ways.
I'm not ready.
There goes nothing.
Alright, I'm just gonna call it a day for the planting.